Greetings, everyone. I want to welcome you here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're back here with the Commonalities Compared. This is a series of shows that I do every week. Actually, it's a show I do every week on Sunday night, in which Ben and I put together a series of episodes in which he gives me two rock commonalities that are similar, and then I talk about them, or I compare the two of them. It could be two bass players, could be two albums, could be two bands, could be two single artists, could be anything, but as long as there's something comparable to them. So the two he's given me this week, probably two of the most comparable. We've got two vocalists, bass players, both of them. Greg Lake of Emerson, Lake and Palmer, also of King Crimson, and some of his own solo stuff. And John Wetton of Asia, King Crimson, UK. There's probably a few others that I'm not even thinking about. Anyways, we're going to be talking about these two artists today. So both of them, as you know, are bass players. So that's a commonality right there. The other thing that they're both common is they have a very similar sounding vocal range in their voice. Their voices are almost identical in a lot of ways. I do think if gun to my head test, I would say that John Wetton's voice is a little more forceful than Greg Lake's, but both of them very similar voices. If you put them both singing on an album, I wouldn't be able to tell you which one is which. And of course, the other commonality they have is that they've both played in a lot of progressive bands. Both also played in King Crimson. Initially, Greg Lake sang on the first King Crimson album and did some singing on the second one as well, but then he left to join Emerson, Lake and Palmer for a lengthy career in a progressive rock band as the vocalist, bass player, and guitar player as well. Whereas John Wetton played with several bands, ended up in King Crimson as a vocalist, bass player. Very similar sound to his voice, obviously. He went on to play with first UK and then Asia again as the bass player vocalist, and absolutely strong voices, these two guys. Two of my favorite vocalists as far as the sound of their voice goes. And the odd thing about it is I really like Greg Lake a lot. I really enjoy the stuff he does a lot. I'm not as big of a fan of John Wetton's, and I think it's more of a personal thing than actually any differences between the two. John Wetton, of course, joined Asia, and my favorite guitar player was in this band, and they didn't see eye to eye, and Steve Howe eventually left. So part of that problem is I didn't really like that aspect of them. And the same thing happened with UK, in which he did not get along with Bill Bruford, another member of Yes that I like quite a bit. So, and I don't know the nuances of all this stuff, but for some reason when I was younger it bothered me, and so therefore I never really appreciated him as much as I do now. Many years later I look at things completely different. I think he's a fantastic bass player, maybe even better than Greg Lake is, and he definitely has the same voice. It's spectacular in just about every way you can think of. Both of them having contributed largely to this progressive genre, singing with King Crimson and Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and also singing with King Crimson and various other things, including UK, which I like some of their stuff quite a bit as well. So both of them, and the other, of course, commonality that they have, which I haven't mentioned up to this point, is both of these artists have passed away. So we won't be getting anything new from them, which is unfortunate because I think they're both absolutely killer in every aspect that they take place in. And for me, I always wondered what it would have been like if the two of them could have performed together on something. That would have been absolutely killer to see. They almost have identical voices. So anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Commonalities Compared with these two musical rock stars. If you have, please hit like and subscribe. That's much appreciated. Any comments about either John Wetton or Greg Lake or the music they played under, or the commonalities, or how you feel about them, or any of that stuff, you can put in the comment section below. And again, don't forget to hit the notification bell, and we'll be back next Sunday night with another commonality that Ben will present to me. So have yourself a good day. Take care and goodbye.